Hello everyone. Let's discover the chemistry behind the sour and bitter taste we experience in our everyday life. How do you feel when you taste an apple, a lemon, vinegar, or any carbonated drinks? Do they taste sour? Yes, they do. And how do you feel when you taste bitter gourd or baking soda? Do they taste bitter? Yes, of course. Have you ever thought why do they taste so? It is only because of the acid present in lemon and the base present in the bitter gourd. So, what is an acid? The chemical substances that are sour in taste turn blue litmus to red, dissolve in water to produce hydrogen ions, and are corrosive in nature. Let's have a look at some of the acids that we come across in our daily life. Onion contains sulfonic acid, which brings tears in our eyes, and stings contains formic acid that causes irritation. Cabbage contains folic acid, and its deficiency causes ulcers in our mouth. Acids can be classified as organic, inorganic, strong, weak, concentrated, and diluted. One of the most common example of acid is acid rain. Now it's turn to know about base. What is a base? The chemical substances that are bitter in taste turn red litmus to blue when dissolved in water releases hydroxide ions and are slippery or soapy in touch. Base can also be classified as organic, inorganic, strong, weak, concentrated, and diluted, just like an acid. We shall now understand the modern definition based on acid-base theory. Initially, Arrhenius acid-base theory says it is a substance containing hydrogen which produces hydrogen ion in its aqueous solution, and base is a substance containing hydroxide which produces hydroxide ion in its aqueous solution. Next, Bronsted-Lowry told that the substance which donates a proton to other substance is called Bronsted-Lowry acid, and the substance which accepts a proton from other substance is called Bronsted-Lowry base. Next came Lewis acid-base theory, which says the substance which receives electron pair during a chemical reaction is called Lewis acid. Similarly, the substance which donates an electron pair during reaction is called Lewis base. All chemical substances cannot be tasted but can be surely tested. Indicators are those substances which tell us whether a substance is acidic or basic by change in color. Apart from this, there are other indicators which help us to determine the strength of the solutions. They are universal indicator or pH scale. Universal indicator is a mixture of several indicators which shows different colors at different concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. pH scale, it measures the potential of hydronium ion in a solution. Higher the concentration of hydronium ion, lower is the pH value. pH scale ranges between 0 to 14. If you liked the video, please subscribe our channel. Don't forget to press the like button and share it. Stay tuned and wait for our next video to know the chemical behavior of acid, bases and salts. Hello friends, how are you all today? Hope you are excited to know more about the chemical behavior of acid, bases and salts. So let's see how acid reacts with metals. For example, when zinc is added in dilute HCl, it produces zinc chloride and hydrogen gas which burns with a pop sound. When acid reacts with metal carbonates or metal bicarbonates, it produces salt, carbon dioxide gas, and water molecules. The presence of carbon dioxide gas turns lime water milky. For example, when hydrochloric acid reacts with calcium carbonate, it produces calcium chloride, carbon dioxide gas, and water molecules. Similarly, when ethanoic acid reacts with sodium bicarbonate, it produces sodium ethanoate, carbon dioxide gas, and water molecules. Do you know acid can also react with base to produce salt and water? This is known as neutralization reaction. Strong acid and strong base produces neutral salt and water. Strong acid and weak base produces acidic salt and water, whereas weak acid and strong base produces basic salt and water. Again, weak acid and weak base will produce neutral salt and water. In short, nature of salt depends upon the strength of acid or base. Few examples of common acids and bases are as follows. When acid reacts with metal oxides, it also produces salt and water. Comparing this reaction with neutralization reaction, we can say metal oxide is basic in nature. Here in these equations, we see that metal oxide dissolves in water to form a metal hydroxide, which is a base. This also proves that metal oxides are basic in nature. Few more examples of metal oxides react with an acid. This is the short summary of chemical behavior of an acid. Now let's see what happens if a metal is added in a base. It will also produce salt and hydrogen gas. However, such reactions are not possible with all metals. Your base is reacting with non-metal oxide to produce salt and water. Comparing this reaction with neutralization reaction, we can say non-metal oxide is acidic in nature. Non-metal oxide dissolves in water to form an acid. Hence, non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. The following table shows the comparison between an acid and a base on the basis of the given parameters. The following table shows the difference between an acidic oxide and a basic oxide. Can you tell me what is a salt? A salt is a compound formed when a metal is ionically bonded to a non-metal. Salts are formed in many acid-base reactions, as we have seen earlier. The following chart shows the variation in the properties of acid, base, and neutral. Hope you guys are now clear about the chemical behavior of acid, bases, and salts. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See ya. Bye bye. Tata. Good day. Good morning. Today we are going to learn about salts, more about salts. That is, we have already learned that when acid and base reacts with each other, it gives us salt and water. And if strong acid and strong base reacts with each other, it gives the neutral salt and water molecules. The process is also known as neutralization reactions. When strong acids like HCl and strong base like sodium hydroxide reacts with each other, we are able to obtain sodium chloride and water molecules. The sodium chloride is the common salt which we are using in our day-to-day life to taste our food. Now let us see how this sodium chloride is useful to produce many more different salts that is also very much useful in our day-to-day life. For example, with the help of sodium chloride, we can prepare caustic soda. Commonly, it is sodium hydroxide. Now, this can be done with the help of chlor-alkali process. Now, what is chlor-alkali process? So when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, which is also known as brine solution, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. This process is called the chlor-alkali process. Now because of the products formed, chlor from chlorine and alkali from sodium hydroxide. Here you can see how the process taking place. Chlor-alkali process is undergoing electrolysis of NaCl. And again, as per the chemical reaction, you can see that oxidation and reduction reaction is. Next, we will see the important products from the chlor-alkali process and its uses. Here you can see at cathode we have obtained hydrogen gas, which is useful as an fuel. Right, it has very high quality of efficiency. Margarine, which is a vegetable ghee. Ammonia for the fertilizers. That is, ammonia is obtained by undergoing Haber's process. Next, Cl2 we all know that which is used for the water treatment in the swimming pools in making polyvinyl chloride. It acts as a disinfectant and again chlorofluorocarbon and pesticides. Whereas sodium hydroxide is used as degreasing metals, soaps and detergents, paper making, artificial fibers. Now when hydrogen gas and chlorine gas combines with each other, it produces hydrochloric acid, which is also used for cleaning steels, making ammonium chloride, medicines and cosmetics. Whereas when chlorine gas and sodium hydroxide combines with each other, it helps us to make the. Next, we are having few more salts which are used in daily life and produced by this products of chlor-alkali process only. So let's see them quickly. Bleaching powder, which is also known as bleaching agent, and calcium oxychloride. It is prepared from the calcium hydroxide. When it is reacted with chlorine gas, we obtain this bleaching powder. It is used as bleaching agent in textile and paper industries. It is acting as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries, acts as a disinfectant, and it is also useful for making chloroform. Next is baking soda. So baking soda, we are utilizing it in our everyday life for making our pakoras crispy. Right, it is the basic ingredient for making khamal, dhokla, cake, as well as it is used in soda acid fire extinguishers, because when acid and base reacts with each other, when metal carbonates and acid, metal hydrogen carbonate and acid reacts with each other, it produces salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. This is the way how baking soda is useful in soda acid fire extinguishers. We have washing soda, right, that is used in detergents. So how it is prepared? When sodium bicarbonate decomposed, it produces sodium carbonate, water molecules and carbon dioxide gas. And then by adding water molecules, that means by recrystallizing sodium carbonate, we obtain the washing soda. So it is useful in glass, soap and paper industries for the manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax, used as a cleaning agent and removes the permanent hardness of water. Next, a very concerned question, that is, are the crystals of salt really dry? So let us check quickly by doing this small experiment. Here in a test tube, copper sulfate crystals, which is a blue colored crystals, is heated. And it has been found when it is continuously heated, the water droplets is collected at the top of the test tube, and the color of the copper sulfate crystals, that is blue color, is disappeared as it is heated. So this shows that these colored crystals have water of crystallizations. Now, what is water of crystallization? It is the fixed number of water molecules chemically attached to each formula unit of a salt in its crystalline form. Now, let us quickly see few more salts which contains water of crystallizations. They are copper sulfate, that is, it is having 5 molecules of water as in water of crystallization, which is termed as copper sulfate pentahydrate. Next is washing soda, which is containing 10 molecules of water. So it is known as sodium carbonate decahydrate. Plaster of Paris. Now why it is named as plaster of Paris? Because it was initially found in Paris. This salt was initially found in Paris, and hence it is known as plaster of Paris, which is having half molecules of water of crystallization. So it is known as calcium sulfate hemihydrate. And gypsum is calcium sulfate into 2H2O, which is known as calcium sulfate dihydrate. Now, plaster of Paris can be obtained by removal of water molecules from gypsum, and this is a reversible process. From plaster of Paris you can obtain gypsum, and from gypsum as well you can obtain plaster of Paris. Thank you.